Is someone already on there? Hi, welcome to my live. I haven't been on here in a minute, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to hide my comments because I swear, like every time I come on YouTube live, I get the most nastiest comments because I'm gay and I wear makeup. Like I don't understand. My message is very clear, and I'm very um I'm very based on what I believe in, and people just can't handle that, and that's completely fine. Like, I don't give a fuck. I probably won't even read the comments because what's the point? Like, I think most of the comments literally are bullshit every time I come on here. So I don't understand. Like, what's the point? I just like to come on here and speak my truth and my thoughts on things that's happening in the world today. And I think the most profound things that I really want to get into is Candace Owens versus Erika Kirk and basically the world. Um, as you guys know, Candace Owens have been for the past 3 months now have been going in on TPUSA and the FBI, the CIA, a plethora of people regarding Charlie Kirk's death, which was so tragic and so widespread around the whole entire world, let alone the country, the world, was deeply impacted by seeing someone that we've all have been watching for years, and Candace Owens was a very, very close friend with Charlie Kirk. Everyone knows this. Like Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens has always been basically hip to hip with each other. Probably not as much when she was a Daily Wire, and they started doing like a lot of like talk shows together and stuff like that. Coming on each other's shows and stuff. Um, it's apparent that they were very close. I mean, the text messages that Candace have exposed about Charlie Kirk and Candace's messages together and profound memories, like talking about Kanye West and his song Power and how that transformed. That was a transformative moment for both of them. Listening to his music and getting to know Kanye, and I really like that. And I think it's so funny. Like a lot of people were making fun of Charlie because of his taste in music and how they were saying Candace is displaying him as like this gay man because he was saying songs and it's so funny I he was kind of like her gay best friend in so many different ways, but also not. He was a like her partner. He was her like her almost like a brother to her, and they worked so close together. They basically were the ones who built TPUSA together as well, with each other's insight and creativity and what the plan was to go out and talk to many people, liberal, leftist, atheist, Christian, doesn't matter, on the views on right wing politics, conservatism, and how to preserve conservatism in this country, which I think it's great. I think that if you want to preserve conservatism, preserve it. I don't think that's a bad thing to do. We live in this great country. We love open markets. We love capitalism. The good capitalism that actually benefits the lower class, middle class, and upper class. Even though the leftist lunatics out here wants to take that away and make us all the same, make us all commies, because that's what they want to do. They want to make us all commies. Um, and obviously, we can't work with these people because look, right after Charlie was shot by allegedly Tyler Robinson. I'm going to say allegedly because we don't really know. We really don't know. Um, we're not going to sit here and just take the official narrative from the FBI or anyone that's in our government, like if they're not going to answer our questions, And I think the main issue with all of this right now, with Candace Owens opening up and you know opening up the leeway to all of us answer, asking questions and investigating this matter regarding, the weird Egyptian airplanes that were following Erika Kirk and Charlie for years. The weird color of maroon like shirt men in every which corner of, the event when Charlie was murdered. Or, the French, Africa, Israel, the US military ties to conduct such an alleged assassination. It's very, very telling that there is a lot of things that is happening. And what really strikes me is I'm seeing a lot of people on the right wing sphere, the left wing sphere, everywhere sphere, and people that we admire, like Nick Fuentes. I don't admire Tim Pool, but he's one of the people that a lot of people do admire and like, that have come out and have been saying the most nastiest things. And along with a lot of people too that are within the TPUSA organization, they've have disagreed with Candace just investigating and finding out who actually killed Charlie Kirk and who was in on it, because it doesn't seem like that it was just one lone person who was, some regular decular, like, guy who had a Republican family, who has a trans girlfriend, and was like saying like, I hate Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna go out and kill him. Boom. And it didn't seem like, as we continue to, get the FBI slop, it didn't seem like that it was just him alone. It nothing like him being in Dairy Queen at that specific time, and the time of him like taking the clothes and dropping them off in the woods and stuff like that, and then magically finding the gun. It just, these things, like fully set up too. Like the gun was fully set up and made. Like it's it's so odd. And the person, I don't know, Tyler Robinson or not, running off the roof, and they supposedly saying like, oh, he had this long ass fucking gun in his fucking pants jumping off the roof. It just doesn't make sense to me. It never makes sense to me. None of it makes sense. And I feel like usually when we see crimes and things like that on television or in the news, it's very easy and not that hard to come to a conclusive answer of who killed who. But this one, it seems like a lot of people are lying. A lot of things are seemingly very, very off, especially with Erika Kirk. Now, from the beginning, I have like felt a ways about Erika Kirk. I don't believe that she is genuine. I don't. I not for 1 second. I have never believed that she was genuine at all. Um, I don't know one person in my life that have ever recorded themselves right after, not even when the body's not even fucking cold. The body's not even cold. Charlie just died, and then you want to post IG videos of you hovered into the casket over your husband's dead body, his corpse that's barely even cold. And then all of a sudden you want to come on the news, since you're doing like a press tour basically for his new book, and you want privacy because people want to know, like, is he even buried yet? Which I think is a really is a reasonable question. I mean, since I mean, he has been public all throughout our life. I'm sorry, like, you think that you think that this is gonna be a public, like a private matter now? Like, "Well, I want my children to have one thing." I understand that. I get it. Like, I understand. Like, it is weird to know like where he, is buried at and things like that. We get it. I understand that. But at the same time, it's like you can't ask for privacy, bitch, if you have been literally, literally on IG, literally over his fucking corpse that was barely cold. Come on now. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And Candace Owens, um, acknowledged Erica Kirk's shade towards her recently, and it's very telling that she's like, throwing shots at Candace, Erica Kirk is, and um she's finally speaking out since she's going on tour for this, like, press tour for Charlie Kirk's new book, which is, I think it's like a book that's honoring the Shabbat or something like that. Is that Shabbat? Is that what it is? I'm not Jewish, and I don't give a fuck about Jewish religion. So I'm like, what? Like, why? I thought he was Christian. Isn't she like like a what do you say? Is a cradle born Catholic or something like that? Is that what they call it? Like, like she was basically born Catholic because her parents were like raised her Catholic. I don't know, like, it's so odd. It's so odd. Like, I've seen her on the news, like a news clip, and she was saying basically how, like, "Oh my god, Charlie Kirk, like, he came home and, like, he was like, he throw his bag on the floor, kiss the kids, Shabbat shalom." I'm like, "What the fuck are you on about?" Like, I thought you were Christian. I thought you were Christian. And see, that's what makes me go on to that. That's what makes me believe that Candace is telling the truth because, for one, wasn't it very odd how, as soon as Charlie Kirk said "Go Max" um to Tucker Carlson when he was at the TPUSA event, and he was basically calling that Israel, calling that the Epstein files and everything like that. Like, it's obvious that he was, at the end of his life, he was going away from, being pro-Israel and pro-Jewish. I mean, like they said, there was a meeting um with Charlie Kirk and how they were basically trying to force him into saying more political statements that regarding on Israel and things like that, and taking money, like millions of dollars that basically would cover the entire year of TPUSA salary with Bibi Netanyahu, which is very odd. Like, why you want to give money to an organization that is on United States like, is government infiltration. Like, it it makes no sense, and everyone still wants to be like, "Oh my god, Israel's our greatest ally." Are they really? Like, why? All it's because they want to change the narrative on how disgusting and demonic they are as a nation. 100%. Like, and Charlie, the thing is with Charlie though, this is has always been my thing too. It's like, I get it at the end, and allegedly there's messages going around. Candace says, or Kirk denied, I think today, that there's no messages that Charlie Kirk said that they were going to kill him after the, like, hostile meeting he had with these pro-Jewish donors. Um, but Candace is like, on the contrary, yes, there are. I mean, like, on top of the whistleblowers that are coming out of TPUSA and actually giving information to Candace about what's happening actually within the company, um, how is none of this not true? I don't know. If there's whistleblowers, how is it not true? I think that if this was all bullshit, there wouldn't be people talking. There wouldn't be people that's undercover in the TPUSA organization giving information up about what's happening within the company. I find it to be very odd, but looking at this press tour, it's obvious that they're trying to uphold that, um, that notion that Charlie Kirk, he was always pro-Israel, even down to the very, very end. And I don't think so, despite, yes, like, even earlier in this year, he was so pro-Israel, and, saying things about Nick Fuentes, how he is like scum, and that he'll never debate him, which I like, we all know that Nick and Charlie Kirk have not been the they haven't been favorable to each other whatsoever. Like, and I get it because Charlie Kirk was disgustingly pro-Israel, but until the tides turned and he started to wake up, and the media Like even Laura Loomer, she was once calling him like an anti-Semite and all kind of stuff like that on Twitter. And then all of a sudden, since Candace talks about how he wasn't pro-Israel, then she wants to honor his name and be like, he was pro-Israel, he was this, and just like everyone else. It's kind of funny how they still trying to maintain that. And it makes me wonder, allegedly, did Erika Kirk take the money that was being benefited, like, that could have benefit the yearly salary of TPUSA? Because why are you still trying to uphold this when you know that he was not 100% pro-Israel when he left this world? I don't understand that. And Erica Kirk, why is why can't you answer the questions? Why can't you answer the questions? Why you have to be so passive aggressive when it comes to Candace? Like it was very telling that you was talking about Candace Owens, but now since I watched her video today, there's supposedly supposed to be an interview with Barry Weiss, another pro-Israel. She's pro-choice, pro-gay, all the things that's like nothing that TPUSA is about, honestly. Even though I've seen gays and things like that be at the TPUSA event, whatever. But it's like so far removed from what TPUSA is, and like the core values of what it is. Um, she's singing with Barry Weiss, but of course she's pro-Israel and super like a pro-Zionist as fuck. Of course, Erika Kirk's gonna sit with her. Of course, they're gonna have orchestrated questions performing, as we've all seen. We've all seen Erika Kirk literally look like she's the worst actor. We know you've been in reality TV show. We know you've been in music videos. We know you have a long rap sheet, girl, of many things you have done. Even being a pageant for Trump, acting like you've never been around Trump ever before, bitch. You have. I don't. It's very odd. It's very funny how these people are like acting like that they don't know each other, but they do. And they're on television with the tears. Every single interview, there's a tear. Every single interview, there's. It's like, girl, it's time for you to go home. It's time for us to find you a home so you can go with your children. Why are you not with your children? You claiming that you're in the grocery store and oh, like I can't even get the hot sauce that Charlie Kirk used to love. Like, oh my god, there's no reason for me. What? Bitch, since when were you at a grocery store as of late? Don't you say you don't have time? They say you don't have time to, answer these questions about the conspiracy theories. It's so funny how people are throwing that out now. Conspiracy theories, conspiracy theories. Like everything's a conspiracy theory nowadays. Everything is. As we've seen in like this whole entire year, these conspiracy theories that we've been talking about for years so happen to be coming up as truthful. If you've been paying attention now, you stupid bitch. Like how you gonna sit there everything conspiracy theory and you don't want to address these important questions about what type of gun that actually killed Charlie Kirk, because the gun that supposedly killed Charlie Kirk should have like literally taken his head off. And you don't think that's odd? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. And this upcoming interview that's supposedly is supposed to come out like what, Saturday? Candace has said that it's orchestrated. Obviously, like I don't see Barry Weiss being good to just talk on the spot live. She seems so orchestrated and everything seems so planned. Everyone I've talked to on Instagram today, when I was posting about Erica Kirk and how the moment I seen her venom, like just looking at her, she just rubbed me off the wrong way ever since. Everyone feels that, and they think, and they looking at the preview of what we saw with Barry White answering the question, like, "What do you think about Candace Owens?" And how she's telling these lies. What lies? What lie? What are the lies? What are the conspiracy theories? Tell what are these things that are so bad, that are so crazy to question? Give us answers to them. Do you know anything about these? Why are you trying to avoid these questions? Why are so many of you people lying about whether or not he was like, um, going towards Catholicism? You know, despite Erika Kirk is Catholic. I don't understand. Like, what's with all these lies? What's with the lies with like even him being friends with Ben Shapiro? Yes, I know that he's worked with Ben Shapiro numerous times, but they weren't always like cool though. They weren't always cool. I mean, Candace has exposed, and it's true that, you know, Ben wanted both of them to be by, because of competition and things like that. And honestly, like looking at him, like I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that he would find that Charlie Kirk to be competition, and he would want him to spread the messages that he wants to spread. I mean, he doesn't give a fuck about the browning of America. He doesn't give a fuck about, children dying because of his like the royal country that Israel is to America, to send billions upon billions of dollars to other countries, like his home country that he loves the most, Israel. Like I don't put it past him to be evil, you know? Look at him. He's making jokes about even, Candace Owens having a hit out on her life. Which I don't know why everyone, like, just because she has a hit on her life doesn't mean she can't spend time with her family. She can't go out. I don't understand people like acting like that. But also at the same time with this interview that TPUSA said that they wanted to do, why wouldn't they contact her? And why can't it be live streamed? I don't understand. Like, despite like, yes, we've seen her out, like, yes, she was at like some sort of party, whatever, like that. Doesn't mean she doesn't have security with her. But during this time when she is having all this stuff, like with, you know, a hit out on her life due to the French, because we already know, like, ugh, that's a whole nother thing with Brigitte Macron, Emmanuel Macron, and I don't understand how no one can actually think that there's no hit on her life when Emmanuel Macron literally asked Trump verbatim to tell her to shut the fuck up about Brigitte Macron. Like, you don't think that was a threat? I presumed it to be a threat, but I didn't think it was gonna get to a point where maybe, just maybe, they may have some involvement of sending a message to Candace like, "Oh, we can take your friend out. We can also take you out. We can also take this other person out too. We can collude with different types of, governments in the world and collude against your people. But shut the fuck up." But I think it would be too obvious if they just took her out like that. You know what I mean? I really do. I really do. For me, this is all legit. I would think that they would do that. I really do. And people gonna call me dumb for that. I've seen the Nick Fuentes, Tim Pool. I don't understand. Nick Fuentes, like, I love Nick. I love Nick Boots. I love him down. I think that he is amazing. I think that he has amazing talking points on the economy, on the Jews running this country, and everything else. I 100%, I didn't vote. I didn't vote because of Nick. Because it's like, duh, like, why would I vote if I know that, like, my promises aren't going to be met, you know? And I think for all Americans, and they want to bring up the midterms, right? Like, she's going to single-handedly destroy us and make the Republicans not win during the midterms. I mean, look what's happening. Look what's happening. What promises have been made? Zero. Okay, zero. Um, so I don't I please. It makes me sad that Nick is going on the route of trying to make it sound like that it's all bullshit and be on the same end of Tim Pool, which is disgusting. Like, why would you want to be on the same team as Beanie Boy? Who wants to be on the same team as Beanie Boy? Kanye West himself literally walked off an interview from Beanie Boy when he found out that he was pro-Israel. Like, he was like, "Oh shit, no, I'm not doing this." So Nick, you hate Candace so much because of that interview. I know. I get it. I think 100%. The reason why Nick is so mad and hate Candace, it's because they didn't click during the interview. They didn't. And to be honest, I think it was unfairly done. I do think it was unfairly done. I think that, when he was going on about Iran and the US involvement with that, and, you know, why didn't Candace say anything about that during that time? She was behind. She wasn't ahead of it. And that was a very important time, especially when they had the interview. They want to talk about what he said about Dave Smith. It's, like, very catty, and I see why his perspective on her is saying, like, "Oh, her show is for women and for stupid people," because, like, all she talks about is gossip and, like, it's this thing, it's that thing, but see, when it comes to investigation, it's gonna be this thing and that thing. It all roads and all connections lead to one thing, and it can be the possible murder of Charlie Kirk. Honestly, investigations, like, it takes time, and it takes a lot of puzzles to piece together. I think everyone knows that. And I don't know, I think that when we see people who are coming out of the woodwork from TPUSA, like the organization, and they're coming out and giving her tips, like, you wouldn't believe it, you wouldn't understand. I don't get it. There's people in the military talking about how, like, there is it's 100% a connection to, you know, certain, military what operations. They will wear certain colored shirts, like maroon or whatever have you, when there is an operation happening. And there are people coming out talk like on YouTube, they're comparing the guns that could, that should have taken his head off, are like, this isn't right. Like, I don't understand how everyone can just take the FBI slap. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't take it. I think that it's all bullshit. I think that it's all bullshit. I really do. I think it's I believe that they was conspiring against him. And I think that it's solely because Candace wasn't really like on Brigitte Macron. I think that they all were in on it. I really do. You can call me dumb all you want. That's okay. I think regardless, if all this all came out to be untrue and that Candace was just blah 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 blah, why would you want her to stop? Why would you want her to stop investigating and stop like getting down to nitty gritty of everything? I don't understand that either. Why would you? As a wife, Erica Kirk, like as a wife, as a widow now, if anyone should be investigating, regardless if you're asking questions and it leads to nothing, I don't know. I don't care. Why aren't you doing the due diligence? Sorry, of not investigating. You claim that you are, but in what way? What way? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see them talking about it on the show. Is it because it's an ongoing investigation for the FBI? But like, why are they not saying anything? I don't get it. I really don't. And for them to not even acknowledge the hit on Candace's life and ignoring her, that says a lot for me. Um, I don't get it. All I know is that Erika Kirk, her ass is grass. That's all I know. Erika Kirk's ass is grass. And since she's talking now, I think there's a leadway where we should all go back into her past and see why she was allegedly banned from Romania, see why she protects pedophiles that's in the organization, call them family. I mean, they're pulling up old pictures of, her with Bibi Netanyahu's son. People are calling her a handler. Seems like a lot of these women or men are placed in a lot of these people who have big businesses or are in government or who have a great influence on the world. They always place at the right time. Do you notice that? I notice that. I notice that all the time. I'm like, like, where do you come from? Like, all of a sudden. even think about her story about how they met, and Charlie Kirk was not like the most good looking guy, but she was instantly, oh my God, like she's in Israel and she so happens to see him. And then so happens she's in New York and for an interview she sees him right there. Like they f- they fall in love. It just doesn't, none of that makes sense to me. It doesn't. I believe it's all bullshit. And Candace also said something too. She was interviewing with Russell Brand, like how it would be crazy that his whole life could be the Truman Show and that none of it was real. And that would be the most unfortunate thing, finding out that his whole life was fake and orchestrated to come to this time. And I understand people are like, oh, like, basically he sold his soul to the devil. He was so in deep with Israel. He was on college campuses saying that Israel wasn't starving children in Gaza, which was diabolical. We already know that that's untrue, because he's so in deep with his donors. I mean, he did so to the devil, and when you don't do what the devil wants, maybe just maybe in that angle, maybe not in the case of like trying to teach Candace on a lesson, on the angle of you going against the donors and they don't like what you're doing, they're threatening you, all this kind of stuff like that, and putting fire under your ass. You're not doing what they're saying when it regards to Israel. Maybe just maybe they want to buy. We're losing our only guy who is super, super pro Israel, telling all of these lies, who's allowing, the people who aren't going along with the narrative, like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, even though they didn't want them to be on stage, TPUSA. Um, there could be some motive there. I believe so. I don't know. I think that everything that's being connected with Candace Owens and all of a sudden Tyler Robinson, while Erika Kirk is on this press tour for Charlie Kirk's book, he all of a sudden is popping out of the woodwork. There goes Tyler Robinson. It's so funny. Didn't they do like a perp walk with Luigi Mangione and then they display all of that, but not for the man who killed Charlie Kirk? Don't you think that's kind of weird? But all of a sudden he's popping up out of nowhere. Everything just seems so like what she says, fake and gay. I 100%. It does. But what pains me the most is seeing someone like Nick Fuentes, who I admire. I really do admire him. I do like him. I don't care if he didn't like me or not. I don't have parasocial relationships with people on the internet. Um, and I respect him, but I truly think he's wrong on this, and everyone's calling him out on it, and I think rightfully so. How can you be on the side of believing what the FBI says? It doesn't make sense. After all the things we've been through with how through COVID, Black Lives Matter, all these different things, how can you just go along with what the government says? I don't get that. Just out of spite. I think it's out of spite. Even just like I think that it's out of spite for Candace to call him a Fed. I don't believe that. Now the people who we should be looking in that are that I think there are informants like Milo Yiannopoulos, like why would you be in contact with him? Because why he hates Nick. So you hate Nick. So you see what I'm saying? Like it's childish games. And with Tucker Carlson, I mean, she also acknowledged that he was raised, he has CIA friends, and his father, Tucker Carlson found out that his father was a part of CIA, found out, he already knew this. She trusts him more than Nick. And go along with what Tucker Carlson says about Nick being a Fed, and she just ran with that. Where's the proof in that? That's what I would like to know. Where's the proof in that? But then Nick, but I love to watch both sides because it's very interesting. You get to learn a little bit more details about both sides Um, Nick coming up, going against her, calling her retard on his show, and exposing George Farmer, which I find George Farmer to be so fine. Sorry, Candace. I would love to be married to a British man who is like, you know, loaded. But the connections between how they met as well, and supposedly they met and they were what did he say? It was about some like some Russian woman. I forgot her name. It slipped my brain. It's some sort of Russian pro-Israel like couple that got them to meet. I forgot. Fuck. I would see. This is why I wish like my tablet wasn't dead, because so I can give you like the real tea. But I found that very interesting. Um, that the dad, like George Foreman's dad, has like a coalition with Christians and Jews organization, something like that. Oh my god, I don't know. Very odd things, honestly. You can, if you go watch that video of him exposing Candace Owens and like the lore of her husband. I found that to be so interesting. But I watched it like a couple days ago, so it's gone. Like it's totally gone. Like I if I knew the names, I would tell you, but I don't know the names. But anyways, for right now, I'm Team Candace. I'm Team Candace. I'm Team America First. I'm Team finding out the truth, investigating. It's so crazy for a widow to come out and say, like, just stop talking. Just stop talking. You're telling lies, but what lies am I telling? That's something that I want to know. Like Erica Kirk, what lies is Candace Owens telling? And maybe just maybe she'll stop. I don't know. I would like to I would like for her to disclose that. Anyways, what are you guys' thoughts in the comments? I don't low key don't even want to like I don't even want to even get in here. No such thing as a CIA friend, exactly. I don't know. I hmm, trying to see like you guys is dressed like a man. This is like a men's shirt for a man's jacket from Target. What are you talking about? It's camo. Are you retarded? Yeah, you are. Do you like Nick Fuentes? Yes, I do. You trans. I'm obviously a man. Charlie Kirk doesn't deserve to hate. Neither does his family. I don't know. I mean, I don't think. I think when you're a public figure, all hate is going to happen. It is what it is. I mean, Erica Kirk is now the CEO of TPUSA. Hate is warranted. No hate is warranted. Um, are you making fun of Charlie Kirk? I was not making fun of Charlie Kirk. You are Muslim? I'm not Muslim. Oh, your fashion style. Thank you. Oh, you look like a diva. Thank you. Um, I don't know if it is makeup or not. Your makeup eat. You didn't know it was makeup? Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, I think that all the comments is kind of nice today. I started watching Fuentes in 2016 when he would get less than 100 live. Like, wow, you're a real trooper. I think she's alluding that turning point has something to do with his assassination, which I don't see evidence for. I think you should go watch the show, honestly. Um, oh, thank you guys for like the gifts. Like I didn't even notice like there was gifts. I turn off the comments as I $10. How do you say I haven't what? Anyways, I turn off the comments because I get really distracted because I do like I see people that always be like, "Oh my god, like you're such a rambler." I am. Like this live is not like I'm not like Candace Owens who is like basically, so super prepared and ready. Like I don't dude, I come over here and I talk my shit and I like to like I like to talk. I like to express myself and my thoughts. That's like what this channel is, and it's what it always have been. I have videos of me like having very important information, things like that when I used to do pre-recorded videos, but I don't do that no more. I come on here and I just say what I'm thinking, and I'll read comments and I see what people are saying as well. If they agree or they disagree, it doesn't matter to me. I just like to come and like say my truth. And people do like to hear me speak, and talk about these things as well. So I don't think that that's like a bad thing. If you're looking for like this neat and prim and proper person, like go watch Fox News or some shit. Like go watch a boring ass person who don't have a vibe. Like I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate it, you guys. I think next year I'm making a promise to myself to come on here more than once, every 2 weeks. Like, that's what I do, and I found that, like, a lot of people did like my lives a lot. They do like my lives a lot, when I come on here and I speak. Some people don't have time to watch Candace Owens, so I just come on here and I say my things. They're like, "Oh, I didn't even know that." But there are some things too. I'm not perfect at all. I'm not a perfect person whatsoever. I've seen Candace Owens also mess up on her live show so many times. And people will call her out for that. No one's perfect. And I think that's the thing too. That's why I like her because she's not sitting here trying to be perfect. Um, when explaining and investigating the Charlie Kirk murder. And I think that that's very authentic, and we don't always need someone to be on her prim and proper, with a teleprompter. I think that that's great. And I say this all the time, like, go do your own research. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, but also listen and understand, like, and I think that I'm on the right path when it comes to understanding what's actually happening. And I think when the government is over here trying to hush hush things, we should really take note of that. And I think as people, normal people who are, getting gearing up to go vote and things like that, what is the point? What's the point when they don't care about our needs? They don't care about, you know, um, what we want as a people, as Americans locally, or even on like to vote for Trump or Biden, whoever in the near future. Are these people placed in these at the right moment, at the right time, just so we can get riled up about this and vote these people in so they can do corrupt shit? No, I think voting is, like, done for the momentarily, like, for momentarily it's done. I think if there is someone in your state that is actually 100% on your side, like Thomas Massey, for example. I am voting for Thomas Massey in the midterms, 100%. But if I look at New York, if I look at voting for someone in California, it's like, what's the point? These people are so stupid. The people that they put up, that Trump puts up, they're lame as fuck. They should be like in a nursing home at this point. Like, who are these people? And not only that, if it doesn't matter, honestly, I mean, if they're old or whatever like that, it doesn't really matter. But like, it's the principle. It's the principle of being with the people. That's what I'm about. And if they're over here advocating for, I think there was a what was it during the midterm elections for New York, um, when they was asking all these Republicans, and what was his name again? Mondami, is that his name? Mond I forgot his name. I don't his name is so hard to like fucking say. Like I don't give a fuck. We already know who he is. They all asked him, "Oh, what's the first trip that you'll go to, when you become mayor or governor, or whatever the fuck?" And he was the only Mondami. Is that his name? I think that's his name. He said, "I'm gonna stay here in New York. Like I'm gonna stay here in New York for the people." That's what I want. That's what we all want. Like we don't give a fuck about you going to Somalia or going to fucking I don't even fucking know, like England. What? Israel. We want you to be here. So dumb. Okay, you guys, I'm done. I said what I said. Um, and yeah, I have more labs to come. I have more things to talk about. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but I need to watch further on this There was something about this woman named Crystal at a Cinnabon place where she was basically harassed by some Somalians, and they basically said something about her body. They said like, "Oh, like you're disrespecting your body because she wasn't a hijab. She wasn't wearing a hijab." I want to know more about that. I really do. I'm starting to see a uptick of like, you know, Trump is going hard on the Somalians and stuff like that, which I think that these people who come from third world countries who can't assimilate to Western values and how we operate here, get the fuck out. I don't care. There was like a report about, I don't know, was it Minnesota, Ohio? I don't even know. It was somewhere where the percentage of how many of them are on like welfare and things like that. It's like that should be for actual Americans who are actually down on their luck, you know, which I don't think a lot of Americans actually are down on their luck because we're the most privileged country ever. We're the most privileged country ever. There's jobs everywhere. There's jobs everywhere. There's no need for you to be on welfare, period. I don't think so. I think that if you're a disabled person or like, you know, you're old, you get up in age, like, you know, you're not working, you know, you're on disability, you should be able to have food stamps. You should be able to have I think when it comes to a point when you get to that age, like, yeah, like you should be on food stamps, you should be on disability, you should whatever. You shouldn't be working for the rest of your life. I don't really believe that everyone should be working for the rest of their life. If you want to, you should do that. You should have that right. If you want the government to pay you to stay at home, bitch, do that. Like, if you're up in that age, you know, but if you're an able-bodied person, you don't need to. You know, that's just how I personally feel. That's literally how I personally feel. I think a lot of people also agree with this too. They do. I mean, that's why they was coming after Ben Shapiro for saying like, "Oh, you're 65, you should be working for the rest of your life." You don't give a fuck about no one here in this country, so get the fuck out. Just like him, he should get out too. We want to talk about Somalia. You Israelis, get the fuck out. Bye. You Mexicans who want to wave the Mexican flag, wave the Mexican flag because we're throwing the scumbags out of this fucking country. Bye. You should go too. Bye. Go back to where you came from. I don't understand. Like we are Americans. We love this country. We are America first. That's what it's all about. I can't stand these people. But I'm gonna do a separate video on the Cinnabon situation and another thing that I saw. Um, but I'll come back to that. Anyways, love you guys. If you want to you know, subscribe. If you don't, bye.